Hello from Olden Goldens, and welcome back to our channel. Recently, we have received somber news about the passing of some extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. We will also recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Dick Asher, a former president of Polygram and Columbia Records, who worked with artists Bruce Springsteen, Michael Jackson, and Bob Dylan, among others, died on July 23rd at home in Boca Raton, Florida, at age 92. No cause was given. Asher, a native of New York City, was born in 1932 and served in the Marine Corps before graduating from Tufts University and Cornell Law School. He joined CBS Records in the mid-1960s as VP of Business Affairs. Asher briefly went on to Capitol Records, then returned to CBS in 1971 to work with Clive Davis at Columbia Records. In the late 1970s, Asher was named deputy president of the label. Asher left the company in 1983. He moved on to senior roles at Warner Communications, and in October 1985 became President, CEO of Polygram Records. Asher left the company in 1990 after a contractual dispute. After leaving Polygram, he consulted for several artists and companies before becoming an original director for Electronic Arts Software, a post he retained for the next 24 years. He relocated to Florida in the 1990s and later was an affiliate professor of commercial music at Florida Atlantic University, where he helped launch the school's recording studio, among other efforts. Survivors include his wife, Sheila, son, Jeffrey, 4 grandchildren, and 1 great-granddaughter. Leo Chalukian, the multiple Emmy and Oscar-winning sound designer, sound executive, and former chair of the Television Academy, died July 18th, the Academy announced Wednesday. He was 97. Active professionally into his 80s, Chalukian began his sound career at Ryder Sound Service in 1954, becoming an award-winning recording mixer and eventually the sole owner in 1976. He sold the company to the Soundelux Entertainment Group in 1997 and became the company's SVP. In 2000, Liberty Media Group acquired Soundelux, which became Ascent Media Group, Creative Sound Services, and later a division of Discovery Communications known as CSS Studios LLC. Chalukian continued as the company's VP Business Development, representing its divisions for features and TV, and retiring shortly after the company's 2014 spin-off to become Todd Soundelux. During his 60-year career in sound, Chalukian and his staff at Ryder Sound won 4 national Emmys and 2 regional Emmys. He also was honored with the Sid Cassett Founders Award in 2004 for his years of service to the Academy. During his early tenure at Ryder, the company worked on sound for National Geographic specials, David Wolper Productions documentaries, and such classic TV shows as Lassie, Death Valley Days, Sea Hunt, Maverick, Route 66, Gunsmoke, and Jacques Cousteau specials. It also handled recording, re-recording, and mixing for movies, including Steve McQueen's Bullet, and releases from American International Pictures. Chalukian personally oversaw sound design for The Graduate, and with his staff of audio engineers, created the sound design for Easy Rider. The company also contributed to the recording, re-recording, and mixing for The Godfather, Chinatown, Saturday Night Fever, Love Story, and the first Star Trek movies, as well as work on Raiders of the Lost Ark, Tootsie, and The Killing Fields. The company won the 1986 Emmy for Best Achievement in Sound for the TV movie Cross of Fire. The same year, Ryder won the Oscar for Best Achievement in Sound for Platoon. Chalukian served on the Motion Picture Academy Board in the 1970s, and after terming out, began a long association with the Television Academy. He served multiple terms on its Board of Governors, representing the sound peer group and lending expertise in other leadership positions. He spearheaded the Academy's building committee from 1980-91, overseeing the planning, groundbreaking, construction, and eventual move to the Academy's current headquarters in North Hollywood. Chaloukyan served 4 years as Television Academy President, a position now known as the Chair, from 1989-1993. Chaloukyan created peer group executive committees for the Academy, and also was a long-standing director on the Television Academy's Foundation Board and booster of the Foundation's celebrated internship program, The Interviews. Appointed to the California Film Commission in 1988, Chaloukyan served under Govs. George Deukmejian and Pete Wilson. Chaloukyan is survived by daughter Kime Chaloukyan-Black and son Dale Chaloukyan, who followed in his father's footsteps in sound editing, and several grandchildren and great-grandchildren. He was preceded in death by his wife Virginia in 2020. Memorial services will be private. In lieu of flowers, the family requests donations be made to the Television Academy Foundation and its programs in Chaloukyan's memory. John Mayall, the newly minted Rock and Roll Hall of Famer whose group the Bluesbreakers helped nurture many British music legends including Eric Clapton, Mick Taylor, and several future members of Fleetwood Mac, died Monday in California. He was 90. His family released a statement on social media confirming the news, but gave few details other than citing health issues. It is with heavy hearts that we bear the news that John Mayall passed away peacefully in his California home yesterday, July 22, 2024, surrounded by his loving family. The Instagram post reads, "Health issues that forced John to end his epic touring career have finally led to peace for one of this world's greatest road warriors." Heralded as the godfather of British blues, singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist Mayall had a love of American blues and jazz, and a gift for spotting young talent. He launched the Bluesbreakers in 1963, and during the 1960s the group would include a who's who of British blues and rock royalty, from Clapton and Peter Green to Jack Bruce, John McVie, Mick Fleetwood, Ainsley Dunbar, and future Rolling Stone Mick Taylor. The group was a commercial force in the swinging 60s UK, with 5 top 10 LPs from 1966-1970. Their 1966 debut, Bluesbreakers, featured hotshot young guitarist Clapton, who had just left the Yardbirds and whose fiery fretwork inspired "Clapton is God" graffiti. Slowhand left the group in 1966 and was replaced by Green, who left in 1967 to found the first edition of Fleetwood Mac with Bluesbreakers drummer Fleetwood and bassist McVie. Green was replaced by Taylor, who split in 1969 to join the Rolling Stones after Brian Jones's death. Don Buchwald, who founded his eponymous Hollywood talent agency Don Buchwald & Associates in 1977 and counted Howard Stern among his many clients, died Monday of natural causes. He was 88. Buchwald passed away peacefully surrounded by his family, the company said in a statement Tuesday. He got the nickname Super Agent from Stern and is mentioned often, but rarely heard, on Sirius XM's The Howard Stern Show. "I'm not a particularly boastful person," he told the New York Times in a 2018 interview. Buchwald founded Don Buchwald & Associates in New York City with an original team of 5 agents and eventually opened a Los Angeles office in 1992. The company since has rebranded as Buchwald and currently has 130 employees spanning film, TV, theater, comedy, literary, commercials, social media, sports, animation, radio, gaming, voice-over digital, branded lifestyles, and more. The privately held agency is headquartered in its own building on East 44th Street, between Madison and Fifth Avenues, in Midtown Manhattan, with the LA HQ on Wilshire Boulevard in the Miracle Mile. The Buchwald client list has included Kathleen Turner, Ralph Macchio, and Ali McGraw, and among its recent signees are Jaimin Hounsou, Chris Parnell, Adam Goldberg, Reno Wilson, and Billy Ray Cyrus. Buchwald grew up in Brooklyn and started at Brooklyn College when he was 16. aspiring to be an actor. He left school to join the army in 1954 and was stationed in Korea after the armistice was signed. Buchwald later returned to Brooklyn College and earned a degree in 1959. The school's George Gershwin Theater later was renamed Don Buchwald Theater. During the early 1960s, he worked as an actor and business manager in regional theater, where he discovered a talent for negotiation. He soon began working as an agent for talent he met. Buchwald also worked as a travel agent, working with colleagues who aspired to work in radio or voice acting. He began repping them too, and by the 1980s, Buchwald had built a rep as one of the top agents for local news and radio talent. Enter Howard Stern. His daughter, Julia Buchwald, president of Buchwald's West Coast offices, said Tuesday, "I promised my father that the incredible agency he built from the ground up 47 years ago will not only continue to flourish, but will evolve as we forge our path ahead. I, along with my devoted teammates, intend to keep this promise and make Don proud." Buchwald is survived by his wife of 59 years, Maggie, daughters Julia and Laura, a novelist, grandchildren Sebastian and Scarlett Gatta, and son-in-law Brian Smith. Breaking news. At 74, Richard Gere has carved out a lengthy career in the limelight. While he's still landing major roles, the O Canada actor continues to mark major milestones in his personal life too. The Philadelphia-born star recently became a father for the third time, welcoming a son, now 4, with his third wife, Alejandra. The family are soon to set up a new life for themselves, leaving the United States and relocating to Spain, where Alejandra is from. Richard expressed his decision to move to Spain was motivated by a desire to be closer to Alejandra's family and traditions. "Alejandra was very generous in giving me 6 years living in my world, so it's only fair that I give her at least another 6 years living in hers," Richard told Vanity Fair. Richard has aligned himself with the Buddhist faith since he was in his 20s, where he was a practicing Zen Buddhist for 6 years. After traveling to Nepal in 1978, the actor went on to meet the 14th Dalai Lama in India, and soon after became a practicing Tibetan Buddhist, a religion which includes tantric practices such as deity yoga and the 6 dharmas of Naropa. As part of his beliefs, the father of 3 practices daily meditation, a wellness practice which can promote inner calm, peace, and balance that can benefit your emotional well-being and your overall health. Back in 1996, Richard told USA Today that an hour-long meditation each day helped him set up motivation for the day. The Runaway Bride star is said to be strictly vegetarian and has followed the plant-based diet for many years. Studies show that vegetarians tend to have better diet quality than meat eaters and a higher intake of important nutrients like fiber, vitamin C, vitamin E, and magnesium. As for his overall approach to health and wellness, Richard appears to have a balanced view on his physical health.